Alright, welcome guys. Today we're going to show you how to set up a basic hero section in Elementor. So first thing we're going to do is grab a container from our Elements panel over here, drop it in. Now this is just kind of how I like to set it up, but you can set it up many different ways. I'm just going to go through my preferences on what I like to do. So we're going to make this container full width, okay? And we're going to take the minimum height, we're going to change PX to VH for vertical height, and I like to do at least 80%. Now some people like to do 100, 75, whatever. I'll do 80 just because. Now my screen recording is a little bit wider than most screens, so it's not going to look exact here. So we've got all of this area now to play with. Now you see this little dotted line around the outside. That is your padding. So I'm going to go back over here to my container panel. I'm going to go to advanced where it says padding. I'm going to unlink all of those and it's going to make all of that disappear. So now it's just one solid box. Now I want a background for my hero section. You can add anything into this hero section, but again, this is the way I like to do it. So I'm going to add a background. We're going to do a classic background. Let's see, maybe an image. We'll just add a basic image to this. Okay, we'll select that image. Now when you add an image, you can see it kind of layers. So we need to edit that. So I'm going to change the image resolution, make it a little bit nicer. Position, I like to do center. Repeat, you can change these however you want. I'm going to do no repeat. In the display size, I'm going to have it cover. So now it covers my entire hero section background. So looking pretty good so far. Now we want to add content into our hero section, right? What content? A heading, a call to action, things like that. So we're going to go back up to the left. We're going to add some elements. So we'll click add element and let's add a heading. Now when we drop that in there, you see it add to the upper top left automatically. So I'm going to go over to my structure panel on the right hand side and click in container. I'm actually, you know what? While I'm here, I'm going to double click that and I'm going to rename it hero section. So while I'm building this page out, I know that's the exact container. So I'm going to click on that container for hero section and go back over to the left to layout. Now, I like to put the content down and in the middle like that. But kind of a good standard way to do it is if we put it all the way to the left and in the middle, but we don't want it directly against the left hand side. So we're going to go back to our padding and we're going to give it some padding on the left, right? So let's give it some, let's say 150. Bring it in a little bit. You see that? That looks pretty good. Now we're just going to see what that looks like there. We'll go back to our header and change that to this site is awesome sauce! Exclamation point. Now, since this is our awesome sauce site, I'm going to change that to an H1 tag because that's my H1 thing there. And I don't like that it's blue, so I'm going to change that to white. So what I did was I went into the heading, went into style, down to text color, changed that to white. Now we can also change the color back to blue if we want when we hover over it. So if I click on hover, default, let's just put it on blue, right? Now when I hover over this, okay, it's not doing it, which is a perfect time for me to show you the preview. So up in the top right where it says publish, there's also a preview changes button. So I'm going to hit publish, then I'm going to hit preview, and it's going to open in a new tab. Now in this tab, it's still not doing it. Interesting. Oh, that's the link color. Silly me. Huh. Text color, link color. We don't have a link. It's unnecessary. Okay. Moving on. Let's change the size. Now here's where you can change if you don't already have your typography set for your website, you can change it here. I'm going to just add a different font style. And then also we're going to change our font size. This site is awesome sauce. Now underneath that, we can add a text here and change this to "this site is so awesome that we had to name it Awesome Sauce so that it conveys how much flavor is added to the what word do I use? What word do I use? To the structure. Let's say that. That's pretty good. All right, now as you can see, that's gray. Now it's because I didn't set any of my site settings, so I'm just going to go ahead and change that to white also. Now it's a little bit little, so let's make it bigger. I'm going to go back to typography, change the size, make it bigger. Awesome, but now look at how big that is. We don't want it that big. We don't want it to come all the way over there. So there's a few ways you can do this. You can put all of this actually in a container if you'd like. So we're going to go back up to our element and container in a second. But another way to do this is if you just go to the text editor, go to the advanced area, the width, we can change that to custom, and then make sure it says percentage, and let's do 25%. Look at that. Caught it. So now it looks right underneath it, just like that. But again, another thing we can do, which is what I'm going to do now, is let's just put it in a container. We'll change this back to default. We'll go up to our elements, drop it in a container, or drop a container in. Now the container goes all the way across and starts at 50% over, okay? So we don't want this container to be boxed. We're going to change it to full width and then drag our width into our desired width. Let's say 30 is good. Now we're just going to drag our header in there and our text right into it. Now it did what we needed it to do right away. Now we drop in a button for our call to action. And looking pretty good so far. If I hit publish, it'll update our preview tab. That looks all right. Now let's go back to our edit page. And I mean, it looks good. That's basically a good hero section. I mean, if we want to edit the button style, we can edit the button style. I mean, we can make that white, make the text blue. You know, that adds a little bit of flavor to it. Now, if you want me to get into some more advanced hero section stuff, I can, but this is a pretty good hero section. You know what? Let's add some cool stuff. Let's go here. We're going to go to advanced, motion effects, our entrance animation. We're going to make that fade in up like that, right? But let's do it slow. Boom. Or let's fade in from the left. Let's see what fade in left looks like. This site is awesome sauce. Let's make it fast. There we go. Now when we hit publish, and we go back here, when it reloads, this site is awesome sauce. Okay. That's how to make a basic hero section, right? And keep going from there. Now you can play around with where you want stuff and how you want it done and what, you know, font you want and what colors you want and really customize it. Now, back to the hover effect. I'm going to show you hover effect on this. So on the button, when we go into the style, we can go into hover. And here's where we can get creative with our hover when the mouse hovers over it. So let's change the background color to transparent. And the text color to white. And then the border color also to white. And we'll give it a 1 pixel border, solid. Why is that doing that? That's because the normal border color is that. So let's change that to white. Now when I hover over it, it does that. That looks pretty good. Let's see it on the actual page. Yeah, look at that. Looks pretty good. This site is awesome sauce. Let's make more awesome sauce another time. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you thought. I had fun doing this. I'll do more.